Okay, so I moved to California, and since being here I haven't had much time to do much RC anything. So what I have done was yesterday I had the entire day to play with this. So I changed this, I redid everything suspension-wise. Not redid everything, but rearranged everything. I lifted the front and the back. I lifted it, and then I put these up higher so they're not touching, and put smaller wheels so they're not touching the ground. So now it turns and handles like a 4-wheel or 4x4, even though it's a 6x6. But when it gets on the rocks, it is incredible. It now handles like a 4-wheel drive rock crawler. It does things that it never ever did before. And I flipped the bumper upside down on both front and back, and then trimmed the body to fit to make it look good. And then in the front here I added these spacers to lift this so it doesn't get caught as easy on rocks. And the spacers are only the metal inserts from right here, and I just replaced these with screws, and it works fantastic with screws. It's tighter actually and doesn't have as much movement whenever you turn. So that fixed the geometry. Well, that, and also I had to move the steering servo back a little bit to fix the geometry to make this turn correctly and handle correctly. And now it turns better than it did before, than it did stock. But I have the high torque Savic servo in there, the quick run speed controller, the axial 27 turn motor, stock spur gear with a slipper clutch. This is a Wetworks slipper clutch. I got it on eBay, and it works pretty well. It's got two settings, on and off. It either slips or I don't know how to. It's really finicky. It needs a different spring. I'm gonna have to get a different spring, but I got it off the internet. All it is 2 washers and some material in between. But then I got a new Traxxas pinion gear. I forgot how many teeth it is. I'll have to put that in the description. And these are 1.9 mudslingers off of my micro crawler here, or my mini crawler, my Red Cat. But yeah, this thing, stiffening the chassis with this is a cheap truck. I didn't want to spend any money on it. I figured when I got it, I was probably gonna just sell it for $50 after I was done playing with it or whatever. But I've kind of fallen in love with it. So, because it's so cheap and so resilient, this is the only vehicle I have that is working at the moment. Everything else has that motor and the servo glue on that. The shaft on my Mini 8's out. Just everything is down at the moment except for this. This never goes out. This is always running, always works. All the gears are always fine. And even before the spur gear, I strengthened these gears, or the axles, and I have a video up if you just go back through my videos if you want to look at that. But let's show you how this runs.
It was still